Hello everyone. Very welcome to the Symposium on Art, Design and Science. I'm charlieg Gullström. I've been in touch with each and every one via email, and now I'm just really glad to see you all here in person. And we're very happy that as many as 65, almost 70 people have signed up to be here today. So this is really a wonderful opportunity. Before we start today's program, I want to just introduce some people who've helped me to organize this event. From my colleagues from the School of Architecture, Katja Grillner and Leif Brodersen. If you can just wave. From the Department of Media Technology at CSC, Leif Handberg. We also have some helpers with documentation here today that you will notice this afternoon, Johan and Olof. And I'm also grateful to Sanna Cedergren from KTH Conferencing Facilities that you met at the door. Now I want to introduce KTH President Peter Gudmundson.
Most welcome to this symposium on art, design and science. A very few words about KTH. Take it in 100-year steps. 1827 we were formed, and at that time it was more like an educational polytechnic institute, much practical education, and with time it has developed then into more advanced education and research. So 100 years later, 1927, we were conferred the right to examine doctors at KTH. And at that time we were, so to say, a university. And if you look another 100 years in advance, 2027, when KTH will be 200 years, we have in the last year been discussing quite a lot at KTH, what will KTH be in 2027, and we have formulated a vision for KTH, which you can find on the website if you are interested. But there, of course, a lot of things are stated there, but I should just like to mention that the collaboration with society is a very clear theme. Collaboration with society, we think, will develop even further in the future, and that concerns both the industry and society at large, and both internationally and nationally, and also with universities. So this, with the collaboration with the arts, universities and colleges in art, I think will be even more important. Just a few numbers about KTH. We have about 14,000 students on the bachelor and master's level at KTH. About 1/4 or 25% are international students, and the main educational programs are this more classical civilingenjörsprogram and arkitektur in Swedish, or the 5-year engineering education, which is a combination of a bachelor and master's in engineering. We have also close to 2,000 PhD students at KTH. When it comes to research, of course, it's a lot to say, and I will not go into details. But as it is today, the research and PhD education is more than half of KTH. It's in fact about 2/3 of the total of KTH is directed into research and PhD education. And just a few words about it. We have since a couple of years formed 5 areas, we call it platforms, that connect the disciplinary areas at KTH connect the different schools at KTH. So for example, in energy technology, materials technology, ICT, biomedicine, we have platforms that connect KTH. If I should mention one big project, I will mention Science for Life Laboratory, which is a big development in the last years, a collaboration between KTH, Karolinska Institutet and Stockholms Universitet, and also Uppsala University, where we have joined forces and now building up a very strong center in molecular bioscience. And we hope to even further develop it in the next years. So KTH is both education and research, of course, and it's both science and art. And if you look at the motto of KTH, and you see it on the logo, it states vetenskap och konst, or in English, science and art. So already there you see a connection between science and art. One can ask oneself what is the meaning of art in this sense. And I guess in Swedish it's even more difficult because the word konst has different meanings. And what do we mean then by vetenskap och konst, or science and art? Yeah, one could try to figure out what is the meaning of konst in this sense, or art. And one way would be to say, form an adjective of the word konst, and then from that try to understand. And konstig, which would be in English eccentric, I guess is not the right description, even though we are perhaps eccentric, some of us. We could also try to make a verb of konst, and that would be konstra, which in English would be something like make things complicated. I don't think that is not the meaning of what we mean by vetenskap and konst. Or we could make a sentence. Hon gör en konst. She makes a trick. For example, in acrobatics or something. It's more like a secret skill. And now I think we come closer to what we mean by konst. We can also look in a dictionary, Svenska Akademins ordbok, and there you will find 9 different meanings of the word konst. And one of them is teknisk eller konstnärlig skicklighet, or technical or artistic skills. And I think that is what we mean by the word vetenskap och konst. It has to do with the tradition at KTH, which comes from more craft and practical work, where it's both skills, design, and later on also science. And we are proud of that at KTH, to keep that profile, which is really what engineering is all about. So even though KTH is an engineering university, we have quite a lot of activities directed into design and art. And of course architecture is the most well-known. We have an educational program in architecture, and we have research in architecture, and it has long traditions. But we also have educational programs in design and product realization, which is one of these 5-year engineering programs, and another program in media technology. And of course there are other places where we see a lot of connection between design and art with engineering. And I think it's potential to do more. We also have quite a lot of collaborations. Of course, in architecture, we have a long tradition of collaborations, both internationally and nationally. But at KTH, we have two university colleges located here on the campus. One is University College of Opera in Stockholm, where we have a joint center where we do research in between opera and engineering. Also with the University of Dance and Circus on the KTH campus, we have close collaboration. And I think I know that there are discussions on how to develop this. In Stockholm, we have other art schools, and we have connections also with them. When it comes to Konstfack, we signed an agreement in January where we were saying that we would like to increase the collaboration in education and research. And I think it's quite a lot of potential to further collaborate in both these aspects. As I said previously, we come from a very similar background. If you look back in history, with more crafts and design, and we have sort of the roots are very similar, so I think there is a lot of connections. And I think by working together we can complement each other and be stronger in different senses. In research, for example, but also in education, where the most concrete discussions right now is a discussion about forming a joint PhD program, or a doctor's program, as we say. But I think there are opportunities also on the education on bachelor and master's level. We have existing educational programs where we can do more collaborations, but I also think that there are potential for creating new programs in the field in between. Before I close, I would like also to mention that we are working on another type of collaboration, or which I think is very interesting. There is a discussion that KTH could be the host for a new journal for artistic research, which would be a web-based journal. And this is in a collaboration with the Society for Artistic Research. Yeah, I should not be longer. I think it's quite a lot of opportunities, as I said, with a closer collaboration, and I hope that the discussions here will be fruitful and constructive. Welcome.